everybody. Welcome to Rock and Pop Mandolin, RPM, your site for learning classic rock and pop songs on this lovely little 8-stringed instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and in this video, we're taking you all the way back to the 1960s once again, and another classic rock tune from that era, from that decade. This one is called White Room by Cream. Just a great song from a great classic band that featured, Eric Clapton and Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker. Classic power trio, maybe one of the first power trios, I guess, after the Jimi Hendrix experience. But anyway, this is a great song, and it's a lot of fun to play on the mandolin. I'll show you the part on the mandolin that's similar to the original, and I'll leave the solos for you guys to figure out this time, all right? The classic Eric Clapton solos, you guys can do that. I'll show you the basic track, how you can play along with it, and even use some tremolo here off the top, all right? We'll get to that in a minute, but first, a little bit of business. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for checking us out, but don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button down there in the lower right corner of your screen. Really helps this channel to continue to grow. And if you are a returning subscriber, thanks once again for coming back. We always appreciate your support. But if you'd like to show a bit of love to the channel and support us even more, check out all of the links down below in the description box. We've got a link to my mandolin maker, the Johansson Mandolin Company out of Alberta, Canada. If you want to get one of these fine instruments for yourself, check out that link down there. We also have links to Sweetwater products that I use and endorse. And again, if you click on one of those links and buy a product, I get a little bit of monetary assistance from Sweetwater, just a tiny little bit. You can also check out my Learn Rock and Pop Mandolin video lessons link. That is also down below. That's a great way to learn if you're a beginner or an intermediate player. That's an entire package of 16 videos for $29.99, including tabs. It's a great resource for you if you are starting out on the mandolin. And speaking of tabs, you can get nearly 100 tabs now for rock and pop songs, many of the songs I do on this channel, over on my Patreon site. The link is down below, Rock and Pop Mandolin on Patreon. I am adding tabs for mandolin songs there every week pretty much, and many of the songs I've done on the channel, including this one right here, White Room, will be available there on the Patreon page. And for a small amount of money, you can sign up there and gain access to the tabs and various other videos over there as well. But that's enough business for now. Let's take a look at the mandolin version of this classic Cream tune called White Room here on RPM. All right, White Room is in the key of D, and I'm going to show you some chords, some power chords that I use to play this song that are pretty cool. But we'll start off with that introduction, which goes like this. The rhythm does, the chords do. I'll show you the little tremolo melody in a minute as well. So we start off with a... That is similar to what they are doing in, on the original track, although the bass player is pretty much carrying that part. Jack Bruce is carrying that part in the original track, and he's doing something more like... like he's doubling up on that rhythm. I kind of keep it more simple on the mandolin. I like it just like... You can do it either way. You can do it the original way that Jack Bruce does it on the bass, or you can do it like this on the mandolin here. So what are those chords? Well, first off, we've got a G minor chord here, G minor power chord, as I like to call it. All right, that's the 3rd fret of your G string, and the 5th fret here of the D, and the 5th fret of the A. And I just use 2 fingers, just like that. Put your pointer finger down as a bar, just like you would on the guitar, bar chord on the guitar. Well, it's a bar chord here on the mandolin as well. So you're barring across that 3rd fret, and then you're putting your 3rd finger down, your ring finger, right there at the 5th fret and stopping those 2 notes. So you've got a G minor chord just like that. Okay, from the G minor chord, then we go to an F chord. And I'll show you the strumming pattern here in a second. First, I'll show you the chords. All right, so from that G minor, I'm just moving now down to here, which becomes an F chord, all right? And I'm keeping that 1st finger barred there at the 3rd fret. That doesn't move, but the only thing that's moving here is my ring finger. So instead of holding these 2 strings in the middle, like on the G minor chord, now I'm moving that to the 5th fret of the G string, and these 2 middle strings are now just here, blocked here by your pointer finger, all right? So that's an F chord, all right? So it goes 5th fret here of the G, and 3rd fret and 3rd fret of the middle 2 strings, all right? So once again, G minor, all right, to F, all right? Then we're gonna slide up here and catch a D minor chord voicing, all right? So what's that? Well, you got the 7th fret here of the G, the 7th fret of the D, and the 8th fret now of your A string, all right? That is a D minor chord, all right? It's a D minor, and then I'm gonna slide down to here to a C chord voicing, a C bar chord again, and now I'm barring across the 5th fret here, and I'm barring these 2 notes, 5th fret, 5th fret, of the G and the D string, and then I'm pulling in the ring finger here on the 7th fret of the A. All right, so 5, 5, 7 becomes a C bar chord. All right, so the chords once again for the intro, G minor like that, and then to F, then slide up here to D minor, then slide down to C. All right, and I'll show you, there's one other chord, I'll show you that in a second, but let's look at the rhythm here now. So, as I told you before, Jack Bruce is doing something like this on the bass on the original track. Right, he's doing that, he's doing the in the middle. I'm doing it a little more simply, I'm simplifying it on the mandolin, I'm going... So, I'm doing the at the end of each phrase. Like that. And you can even add this. When you change chords, you can go... Right? Like, just like that. All right? So, one more time, very slowly. Through, even with that D minor down to the C, the same strumming pattern. Let's try and do it the Jack Bruce way. All right, that's the original. That's the way Jack Bruce does it on the bass. All right, so you get through that part 4 times, like that. I think you get through it 2 times. My mistake on the original. Yeah, 2 times through the pattern. And then once you get to that C, now you're going to pull in what's an A7 chord. And basically all I'm doing is adding my 2nd finger to the 6th fret of the G string. I'm still keeping it locked down like that C chord, but now I'm just putting that finger down and it becomes an A7 chord. Really cool, isn't it? A cool sounding chord. All right, so one more time all the way through from the G minor. And one more time, Jack Bruce style. To that A7. And that takes you into the verse patterns. Okay, let's look at the verse patterns now. And I'm playing something a little bit different, obviously, than the guitar part in the original tune. Some slightly altered chords here, but I think they work, and I think they sound pretty good on the mandolin. So I'm doing it all with bar chords here. So I'm starting here, which is a D chord, all right? So you're at the 7th fret now with your first finger bar, 7, 7, 9. 7, 7, 9, that's a D chord. And I'm going to do this pattern, watch this. See what I'm doing there? All right, so I'm basically just moving this kind of configuration down 2 frets to get my next chord, which is that C chord again that I showed you before. All right, so it's D chord, 7, 7, 9, and then down to 5, 5, 7. Now a little bit of a tricky chord here, and to be honest with you, I don't know what this chord is. It's some kind of B flat chord, or it's a B chord or a G chord. I don't really know. I just kind of made this chord up myself here. I'm sure some of you more experienced players can tell me what this chord is. on the guitar, I guess it's kind of a B over a G that they're doing. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Just watch what I'm doing here. So I'm going from the D to the C, and now what I'm doing is I'm shifting fingers here. I'm moving my pointer finger down 1 fret. So now I'm at the 4th fret here of the G string and the 4th fret of the D, but I'm using my pinky finger here in the same spot as before. So see this note here from the C, I'm just changing fingers, but I'm keeping that note in the next chord. I'm just moving this one down. Does that make sense to you? So from here, you see what I've done there? So that's 4, 4, 7 now. All right, so once again, D, C, and then this B chord of some kind, right? B, add something, and then I'm moving to a B flat. The same configuration as before now. So here I'm 3, 3, and 5. All right, hope that's not too confusing for you. So here it goes D, D, C, C, B altered chord, and then B flat. And then he comes back up again. Just B flat, C, D. All right, and the pattern goes like this. You see what I'm doing there? There's a really cool rhythmic pattern there that's going. So it's like dun, dun, when he changes chords. So very slowly, I'm putting in a ghost note there before I change chords. You see that? Like this. Like that. And to make a ghost note, you basically just pull all your fingers up and deaden the strings. Don't press down on them, right? So you're going like this. One more time on the D. Right? And then from there, like that. So from that chord, and on the B flat and the C, you're giving it an upstroke too. So you're going like that. And I'm putting in some ghost notes there too. Maybe you want to slow down the video to see where I'm putting in those ghost notes. If that's a little too tricky for you, you can slow down the video down below on YouTube with some of the controls below the screen of this video. Check that out if you don't know how to do that already. All right, so one more time through the verse patterns from the D. So 4 times through this. Okay, on the 4th one, then you're going to go to kind of like a chorus part. Like that. Right? So what are those chords? Well, that's a C, but I'm using a different voicing here. So I'm going actually from this C here into this C. And I like changing the voicing because it gives you a little bit of a different flavor on the sound of the chord. You can hear that. You can hear this chord here. All right, that's a C chord, and then that one sounds a little bit different. It's still a C chord, but because I'm playing the open G here, it's giving a little bit of a more bassy sound to that chord. And I think that works really nicely for the chorus part of this song. All right, so the chorus part of the song goes in this place. Like that, right? Okay, so it's basically just here in this place. So it's an open C chord, right? So that's 2nd fret and 3rd fret of your middle strings and the other open ones like that. Basic cowboy C chord to a G, cowboy G, 2nd fret here of your A, 3rd fret of your E. So here in this place, right? And then I'm going back to that B flat chord, right, which is 3rd. You're barring the 3rd fret again here, and then your ring finger on the 5th. And then I'm sliding that down 1 step, 1 fret to there, which is an A chord. now, okay? Still barring it. I've just slid the whole thing down one fret. So now I'm at the second fret, and fourth fret here. All right, so one more time. C, G, B flat, A, C, G. Now something different. B flat, C, and then that D chord again. And here, when you hit that, you can bring in your pinky right at the end to give you just a little bit of a nice little stab on your final note, like this. Can you hear that? Just gives you a little bit of a stab. So that D chord there is 7th fret bar here on these two strings, 9th fret there of the A, and the 10th fret of your E. So one more time, all the way through, one more time through the chorus patterns. C in this G, in the B flat, down to the A, C, G, B flat, C, D. And those are the chords for the chorus of this song. All right, those are the chords for the song. Let's take a look at that intro part. And actually, the intro part is played a few other times in the song as well. I think it's played 3 times throughout the whole track. All right, so I showed you this right from the beginning. Now, you can put a nice little tremolo on there to sort of mimic the part that Eric Clapton does on the guitar in the original. And it works really nicely on the mandolin. So here, it's like this. Very simple, all right? So, and then I pull in that note later. You don't have to do that, okay? So what are those notes? Well, I'm here on the A string at the 5th fret, and just up and down tremolo, just like that. And you want to kind of emphasize it a little bit on the kind of the first beats, all right? See how I'm emphasizing it just a little bit on the beat. And they're held, you basically hold that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's 5th fret there on your A string, and then 3rd fret on your A string, and then 7th fret on the D, and 5th fret on the D. So let's do that one more time. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th fret. Let's do it again. 3rd fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, and now I'm pulling in that 6th fret of your G string right on that A7 chord that I showed you earlier. You don't have to do that. In fact, you could just end it. You could end it there on the 5th fret. That might even sound better on that A7 chord, all right? But whatever note you choose, it sounds pretty cool right at the end of that lick. All right, that is White Room by Cream. I've showed you the basic rhythm parts and that introduction part. You can work out the solos, the Eric Clapton guitar solos for yourself if you're so inclined. They are pretty amazing. And using lots of wah-wah pedal on the electric guitar, maybe you want to try that on the mandolin as well. Go for it. It might sound cool. Anyway, thanks very much for checking out this video. I really appreciate your support. If you're new here, don't forget to check that little red subscriber button down there in the lower right corner of your screen. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks again for coming back, but check out all the links in the description box below. Many ways you can help support this channel, and you can get tabs for this song and many others on my channel. In fact, you can get tabs for many rock and pop songs that I haven't seen anywhere else on the internet. They're exclusive mandolin tabs in some cases to my Patreon page. The link is down below. Thanks very much for watching. RPM once again.